4. I'll give you $1. Looks a little weird. So, but the bird's eye view is the main important aspect of this. This is what I want to use to create essentially a modern aqueduct system, except it has all of your utilities. And this would be for like infrastructure. It would be under sidewalks, and sidewalks are like the lid. You can like take off, you can like pick up the sidewalk, a chunk of it, you know, where they do the saw cuts. You take off a chunk of the sidewalk, and this is what is underneath. And you got your sewer, got your internet, electricity, and then water at the top, and then, you know, future expansions will be on the top or the bottom, which either or. But the idea is that you can, if you need to repair something, you can go straight down to the utility you need to get access to, and you'll be able to access it. Oh, we're upside down. There we go. Now, there are parts that are underneath, you know, they overlap. And there are some like still design flaws to this, but the idea is that you could continuously add on to this like stair step if you ever need to add more utilities, which I don't know if we really would need to, but if you had to, it can even solve that problem. And you have, these are all your utilities going underneath, and it's super modular and super easy to change or fix. If a pipe burst, it's underneath the sidewalk, so you don't have to cut up the asphalt, brand new road, and fix some darn line. Oh, storm drain. You know, like rainwater. That'll be like a part of the whole tunnel as a whole. Like the whole tunnel where all the utilities are kept. That is the storm drain. So it's a gutter all in one. It's like your one perfect little package for what you need to build a city. And the great part is it not only works for like sidewalks and roads, but if we built houses, which that is going to be 3D printed houses, that is the way it's going. That is, can't stop that type of stuff. Sure, traditional construction will continue, but it will evolve. You cannot stop evolution. New tech, you know, you can always build something better. It can always be better and modified. You know, this is not my first rendition of this shape that I got going on here. And so, yeah, I mentioned it could go in like a house. This is like my best attempt at like showing it. Say like this is in the wall here, and so this is the glass represents like the utilities, or not the utilities, the wall. And so I made it transparent so you could see through it. And same deal. If you need to change or add on, you know, you want to add an outlet over here, all you have to do is move. Dang, that's kind of difficult. If you want to add an outlet, which say it's the red line, you want to add an outlet over here. Typically a huge problem in construction. Because, well, you got to tear down the wall, the face, sheetrock, and then you got to wire it, and then you got to put the device in, and then you have to, you know, that's what you, and then you have to paint, patch. You can never get it to match. And so if you have if the whole wall is 3D printed, you just 3D print the forms. And that's what my original shape I was showing y'all, that's what these are. These are the forms. You pour the liquid in, and when you take off these forms, what is left is that shape in the wall. And so if you have to patch something, 3D printer is going to be readily available. They're going to be everywhere. They're already starting to be everywhere. I have one myself. You can buy a 3D printer for a very affordable amount, relatively, and then you can make anything. That's why I self-taught myself modeling and animation so I could print them. And I actually did print part of this design. I have yet to. I'm going to use like Quickcrete or something and test it with like it would essentially be like a CMU block that has this shape built into it. So you have your like duct work in your walls. It'd be like pretty thick walls, fair enough. Like there are flaws to it still, but not every wall needs duct work. So there are going to be the thinner walls. If you want to add on to it though, you probably want to have thick walls everywhere in case you want, an air vent right here next to you and, right next to your head at your bed or something weird. The point is, you're left with, let's see, I have a model of it saved here, I think. I think it might be that one. Yeah. So this is it, this is the one, yeah. This is like what would be in the wall. And if you have to like modify the wall, which like is not even to begin with like a common thing, like remodels, like serious remodels. The idea is like you have like you tell us where you want your outlets and your vent for your AC and where you want a water line, where you want sewer, and we can model it all, and then you'll slice it up into a bunch of cubes, and then you 3D print all the forms for each section, and you can make forms like as big as walls, so you could print like a whole wall, and then you pull that form out, and it'd be like a really long run, right? And then you're left with your conduit space, like your void for your plumbing line. You do that like they have those like snakes that go in the line and then like it pulls out and what's left is like a brand new like PVC line essentially. It's just like a quick solidifying material. I don't know like the all the ins and outs on that type of stuff though, but like gotta get the first step done first. So can't one step at a time here. But yes, that's the shape we're looking for. And I'm not worried about patent pending or anything because if someone else can do it before me, by all means, fix our infrastructure. I won't be mad. But that's another reason I'm posting stuff like this to YouTube. So this is February 16th, 7:01. This idea was born ages ago. Just haven't put it on a patent, but it was my idea. Not that credit matters, but I don't want to see it be sold. This needs to be like the new hammer. 3D print these forms and like make everyone good at it. You build whatever house you want. All you have to do is pay for the material. And then like everything's a plug and play. The outlets already have all their predetermined spots. You just plug them in. You just put the sink on the line. It just works. And then if you need to change anything, it's also super modular. And so like it's adaptable. we need to make an adaptable infrastructure, especially for like if this was underneath a sidewalk and this is like your modern aqueduct system for a whole city. Again, can't reiterate this enough. Like this thing would save our government and our, by the way, in the United States, that's we the people. So that would save us money and time and labor. And there's no reason why we can't automate all these boring, crummy jobs. If you want to be a janitor, you can be a janitor. But, you know, there's got to be someone to, like, maintain the robots and stuff. There will be jobs. Even regardless, there will always be man-made jobs. But we need to make more fun jobs, like going out in space and all that, you know, cosmic stuff. But there's no reason we can't bake the cake and eat it too. There's no reason. And if you automate all these fascinating facets, you okay? It's okay. Sorry, my girlfriend's been working on the bed quietly for me. Thank you, love. What was I saying though? Oh, if you do all the fantastic facets of something, you get world peace. If you can automate all of these benign issues: water, food, shelter, transportation, and then sewer and storm drain. I'm adding on to that list. I realized I forgot that, agriculture, and you can't flood the plains, so you have to have a good drainage system, and we need to make sure our lakes all have clean drinking water in them. How do you do that? That'd be difficult because we don't really treat the planet that well. So, but yeah, this is my invention. I'm working on 3D printing it. Promise. This part is easy, but creating the structure that contains this and holds this, as you can see from this weird thing, how do you get all the forms to work together? And so this, you print this, and then you go to the next section, and then you print it, and you can reuse the forms, and it would make that chase, and then you have, not, this is the most complex intersection that can occur. This guy. But in reality, you're not going to have an air duct right next to an outlet or a water line right next to an outlet. So you 3D print forms, and it may have only one or two of these stub outs for an entire wall. You know what I mean? Like a light switch, an outlet, because you got to have outlets everywhere nowadays. Architects, draw more outlets on your drawings, please. And draw the light switches, for crying out loud. I worked with an architect who put a light switch on a glass wall. How do you do that in a law firm office and make it look pretty? You want to be covered in millwork or something? Again, I'm not gonna get into that, but architects, come on, be better. So yeah, this is really the coup de grace, crème de la crème. I don't know why that's doing that weird. And then if you need to fix something, you can always go straight down to the utility that you have to get to. Now, what about the red that was underneath this? We would have a uniform system. In my opinion, it would be an open face system rather than burying things under dirt. You create a lot of scheduling conflicts when you're trying to predict the weather. If you put this in a tunnel, where it's, consistent temperature and lighting, and you can work on it whenever you need to. And it's not like a mud pit of construction in the middle of the road on a highway, and everyone has to get in single file and merge. Merge in a world of peace, you would never have to merge again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm getting hungry. Thank you for watching. Again, like, share, subscribe. Try to steal my $1,000,000 idea and make the world a better place. I dare ya. That's a little vicious of a sign off, but let's see. I need to ask a question for the people who actually listen and comment. What's a good question to ask, Kaylee? What makes you happy?